Nicolas Raskin's future at Rangers has been a topic of growing speculation this summer, with reports linking the midfielder to a potential £25 million move away from Ibrox. As one of the club's most technically gifted players, any developments surrounding his next steps are bound to generate serious interest. Now, fresh news has emerged that could significantly shape what lies ahead for the Belgian international, and for Rangers' plans heading into the new season. So what is happening with our Belgian midfield dynamo? Let's break it down, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Rangers have agreed a deal to sign Bournemouth defender Max Aarons until the end of the season. RFC News revealed last week that Russell Martin was keen to be reunited with his former Norwich City teammate this term, and it is understood that an agreement has now been reached for the right-back to move to Glasgow. Aarons spent the second half of the season on loan at Valencia. He moved to Bournemouth from Norwich City in a £7 million move in August 2023. He will now arrive at Ibrox to provide competition for captain James Tavernier. Martin will get down to work with his squad on Monday as Rangers return to pre-season training. The new head coach is embarking on a considerable rebuild of the squad he has inherited after being appointed as Felipe Clement's successor on a 3-year deal. Rangers face Panathinaikos in the Champions League's second qualifying round next month. Martin's side kick off their Premiership campaign with a trip to face Motherwell. Asked about the aims of pre-season, which will include matches with Club Brugge and Middlesbrough, Martin said, "The aim is to work them physically, tactically, to get them to understand what we are demanding very early on and what the team will look like, and hopefully over the next couple of weeks to add a few players to the group. And I think we're all expecting that. I don't know exact numbers, but I think we will have a few before the European game, that is for sure. Everyone is working extremely hard. That's what the bulk of the work has been the last week or so. Identifying character and talent we want in this building that can add to this group and add to us culturally and performance-wise. I am excited about the people we are starting to look at and will hopefully add." Now, in some huge Nicolas Raskin news, Rangers are gearing up for crucial contract talks with midfield standout Nicolas Raskin, a player new boss Russell Martin sees as central to his Ibrox rebuild. The Belgian international has become one of the club's most prized assets since arriving from Standard Liège for £1.75 million in January 2023. Now entering the final 2 years of his current deal, Raskin's rising value and standout performances have attracted growing interest from clubs across Europe. Inside the corridors of power at Ibrox, there's a firm recognition that Raskin must be tied down. Sporting director Kevin Thelwell, working closely with the club's ambitious new American owners, is leading efforts to modernize Rangers' transfer strategy. A key pillar of that plan involves securing top talent on long-term deals before suitors come knocking. RFC News understands that while talks have not formally started, extending Raskin's contract is firmly on the agenda. Thelwell is particularly keen to offer improved terms that reflect the 24-year-old's growing stature, while also sending a clear message to any interested clubs: serious bids only. Encouragingly, there is confidence within the club that Raskin is happy at Rangers and open to committing his future to Glasgow. The move to secure Raskin comes amid an active start to Martin's tenure. The former Swansea and Southampton boss has already landed his first signing, Bournemouth fullback Max Aarons, who has joined on a season-long loan. However, it's understood there is no option for a permanent deal. Attention is now turning to Peterborough United's Kwame Poku. The 23-year-old attacker, who is out of contract, is believed to be closing in on a move to Ibrox for a cross-border compensation fee in the region of £350,000. Still, retaining Raskin could prove just as important as any incoming transfer. Signed under Michael Beale, the combative midfielder was one of the few bright sparks in a frustrating, trophy-less 2024/25 campaign. He played a starring role in 2 memorable victories over Celtic, captaining Rangers to a dominant 3-0 win in January, then netting a brilliant opener in the 3-2 triumph at Parkhead in March. And his influence is beginning to stretch beyond Scotland. Raskin is now on the radar of Belgian boss Rudy Garcia and continues to build his international profile. Earlier this month, he impressed in a 1-1 World Cup qualifying draw with North Macedonia and came off the bench to help inspire a dramatic 4-3 win over Wales. For Rangers, locking in Raskin's future would not only safeguard a key asset, it would signal a bold new chapter under Martin's leadership. In other news, the Scottish FA has hit back at Rangers amid their row over a fine passed down in relation to John Brown's corrupt comments in a recent match against Hibernian. Bomber Brown gave his opinion when there was no goal awarded, despite the ball clearly being over the line, during Rangers' last match of last season at Easter Road. Appearing on Rangers TV that day, he said, "I would say it's corrupt." Tom Miller quickly responded, "I'm not sure we can actually say that." "Well, I am saying it," Brown added. "That's a disgrace, and it's the worst decision I've seen in all the years I've been in football." The SFA handed out a £3,000 fine to the Ibrox club after they were found to be in breach of the rules following the incident. Rangers issued a strongly worded statement on Thursday evening in response, as they insisted they would be watching proceedings closely relating to content produced by club TV channels of other Scottish clubs. Now, the SFA has maintained the charge was rightly passed down in line with the rulebook, as they reminded clubs of their responsibilities. We note Rangers' response to the determination of a recent independent judicial panel tribunal, an SFA spokesperson said. "In the interests of accuracy, we wish to address some of the misleading comments contained therein. The sanction imposed by an independent panel was entirely in keeping with the application of the rules. The most recent and relevant example of a similar breach, the sanction imposed on Richard Foster of Motherwell FC for comments of a similar nature in the media, attests to that. Furthermore, to address the comments regarding rationale behind differing outcomes, we wish to point to the fact that investigations were undertaken in previous cases outlined, and that the compliance officers of the time saw fit to issue a censure by way of warning letter for potential breaches deemed insufficiently serious to be progressed to a notice of complaint. This system of proportionality has been adopted since the inception of the Judicial Panel Protocol in 2011. Indeed, such discretion was exercised last season, when the compliance officer wrote to the club to warn of the future conduct of players following matters involving Václav Černý, Dujon Sterling, and Mohamed Diomande. We also note that Rangers intend to contact the association to seek clarity on the Judicial Panel Protocol and its application. The club is, in fact, already represented on the JPP working group. We have requested written reasons from the panel chair involved in the tribunal and, in the interests of transparency, will publish in due course. JPP Rule 38 was introduced in response to the referee strike of 2010, when match officials campaigned for greater protection after enduring sustained personal criticism from clubs and fans. Ahead of a new season, we remind clubs of their responsibilities in this regard. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.